it's Nicole and welcome back to my channel. It's raining here in New York City and I gotta get through my repots, so I decided to repot the Angrecum Didieri together with you guys. I got this orchid from my friend Ray last spring. It's in bark with a little bit of moss on top. It's bloomed a couple of times for me. It's got really beautiful, fragrant white flowers. They're fragrant at night, which is really nice, and the fragrance is really strong. If you guys don't have one of these, I highly recommend them. They like their humidity and they like air around their roots. So I'm not going to throw this in Leca, but I am going to use some lava rock, which I think will mimic the bark that it's in really well. My thinking is that I want to mimic the setup that it's in, but change to inorganic. So let's see what we're dealing with here and how we can mimic the setup. So it's in a net pot inside of a pot, so I'm thinking I could use another net pot to sort of mimic this setup, but we've got a lot of dead roots to clean up. You could tell that they're dead because they're kind of papery, thin, they have no substance. When you press on them, they're dry. So we're gonna cut that up and clean this up real quick. I'm gonna cut the pot and just go around this orchid to free it. So I really like this orchid just because it's so fragrant. It's nocturnal, so it's fragrant at night, and it's just wonderful. The flowers are really cute too, and I find that this orchid likes humidity, but it doesn't like to be too wet or else the roots will die off. This one's a bit overdue. I probably should have done this last year in the summer, but I kind of slacked on that. All right, we've got the bottom part of the pot out, and now we're gonna cut off the top of the pot. Let's see, there we go. And then we can slowly work our way around the roots. So this one is like number 67, I believe. So I'm getting through these repots. It's been a little tiring. I haven't gotten all of them, but I haven't recorded all of them rather, but I'm so ready for this to be over. All right, so we've got some good roots here in the middle. Let me brighten that up for y'all. All right, and we've got to cut out the dead roots. So these roots also look pretty funny. They're a little wrinkly, and I find it's a trait with the Angrecum Didieri. I don't have any other Angrecums. This is my first and only one, but I do really like that nighttime fragrance. It's really, really pleasant. When it blooms, it actually fills the grow room, which is nice. And, you know, I really enjoy this. So we're going to take this little moss off. I added moss to the top because it was just drying out so fast and it couldn't keep up with the watering. So we're going to put it in a little bit of a larger pot and see how it goes. So we're going to get rid of these old roots. Let's see. Yeah, we're just gonna start trimming away. So I'm not too concerned because we have some nice roots here. These are viable roots. We've got a growing root tip right there. But we're gonna take off anything that's a little papery. And I will fast forward here as I clean this up. So you'll see on the sides, these little things are where the buds came from. I've had a bud swelling there for a couple of months and it bloomed for me 3 times. You could kind of see between the leaf joints, 1, 2, 3. So sometimes roots grow from here, but they also bloom from the sides. So I think this is good enough. I'm going to rinse this off and make sure that I get any extra moss off, and then we'll get to repotting this. All right, so Angrecum Didieri is clean now. I've trimmed most of the roots. I am a little bit conservative with them, so you'll notice a few edges that are still They might be a little dead, but I'd rather cut just under where there's flesh so I don't create a unnecessary wound to the orchid. But otherwise it looks good. So I was gonna put it into this pot. I think this one is like a 3-inch basket. But I think it's a little tight for the root system now that I've taken it out. So I am gonna put it into this 4-inch pot, and it's got a little room on the side, so I wanna mimic the setup that it was in. It was like in a basket, but the pot on the outside contained air. There's a little room on the side, so there's some give. So this will have high humidity, yet if I water it frequently, it'll drain. This orchid does not like to be waterlogged, so it needs plenty of air. I'm going to use this lava rock, and I figured I could water it. Water will drain. Anything that's in the reservoir can add some humidity, and this will trap humidity. I think if I use this on its own, it might trap too much humidity. It could probably work if it drains well, but I figured let's just copy that setup. It had more air in the last setup, but you could see that's like kind of, there's some room there, so it's not completely suffocated. So I am going to place this orchid into the pot. And we're gonna leave any roots that were aerial, we're gonna keep them as aerial. Everything else is gonna go into the pot, and we're gonna place some lava rock around it. We're just gonna surround it by this lava rock, and then just gently press it down. I don't use lava rock too much. I used to use it when I was potting up my Vandas into semi-hydro. So I have some Neo-Phoenicia type hybrids that I have in semi-hydro. But I just find that they adhere to the roots a lot. And when I have to repot semi-hydro, it's really hard to remove. So I only use lava rock in certain circumstances, like this one where I don't want to touch this orchid for a long time. I'm gonna shake it around, and we're gonna fill it up. I'm gonna get a bit more lava rock, and I'll come right back. Alrighty, we are back. So I'm gonna place a little bit more lava rock very gently. I don't wanna break those roots, and as I said, lava rock is really, really abrasive, and it can harm the roots, so we're just gonna be careful. We're just gonna like gently shake it around. Lava rock is super heavy, so as it goes in, it'll hold the orchid. There's going to be plenty of air gaps in there, so I'm not too concerned about it. Otherwise, I think we're good to go. We're going to shake. Yeah, we're going to shake it around to make sure it gets into the different grooves. We don't have to make sure it's tight like I do with Leca, because Leca's more, the purpose of the Leca is to be wicking. For this one, we want plenty of air, but there's nice big pieces. So there'll be plenty of air gaps. And this is good to go. So as you can see, we've got the mesh pot that will promote some aeration. We've got the lava rock, which will not degrade. And this can stay in this pot, I think, for quite a long time. Hopefully 2-3 years. That would be great. And then when I repot it, any roots that stick to the lava rock I can keep. And we're just gonna stick it right into this little 4-inch pot. This way it has a little bit of air on the side, but good moisture, which is important in my environment that's very dry in the winter. So I look forward to seeing this bloom this spring. Worth having one if you want to give it a try. This is a very compact grower, so it doesn't get too big. It's about the size of my hand, so it's not humongous. This is a short 4-inch pot, just for reference. And the fragrance on those blooms are just absolutely wonderful, and it's as cute as a button. So anyway, guys, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more orchid content. As you can see, I'm moving pretty quickly, and that's just because I want to get through these repots as quickly as possible. But if you have any questions, just let me know down below. Take care, everyone. Bye.